Good morning, everyone. This is Pastor Cecil Victor John from Jesus the Way the Ministries, and it's such a beautiful day here. Today, I have a very, very special guest with us. I'm going to introduce him a little bit to you, and then he will introduce himself. The reason why he's so special because I met him in Korea, in South Korea, for the first time. And the impression which I got when I went to church on Sunday was what Jesus said: love one another as you have loved, love one another as you love yourself. And the love and the care and everything what I got from the church where Pastor was serving was amazing. He and his family, especially his wife, they were so kind, they were so generous, and they were just trying to help us because we couldn't speak Korean, and they were the only one who could speak English very well. So it's my honor, it's my privilege, and I would like to introduce you, Pastor Joseph Ahn. Good morning, Pastor.
Good morning, everyone.
How you're doing today, Pastor?
Pretty good and wonderful. Thank
And
you.
wonderful. And I have so many great memories with you, Pastor, in South Korea. When I think about it's almost like I think 25 years, maybe, or more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Around
Yeah,
25 years, actually
yeah.
longer, maybe 25 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all the time we spent, and especially seeing you every Sunday and other days, it was such a great honor to spend time with you in South Korea, Pastor.
Right. Me
Okay.
too.
So
Yeah.
anyway, thank you, and welcome to Jesus the Way the Ministries. And this morning, I want to ask you, Pastor. The first question is just tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce about yourself, about your ministry, and about your church.
Yes. My name is Joseph. Last name is Ahn, Joseph Ahn. I have three children and a boy, and I have one wife.
One wife. That's a good one. I think one is enough, Pastor.
Yes, her name is Susan,
Mhm.
and we'll establish church here in Virginia. I think more than 20 years ago, and at the time we didn't have any members, but by the grace of God, people come to our church and baptize and become a disciple of Christ. It was really good, and I think our church is unique because we are doing like a house church. Um, when Jesus says, "Make disciples, go and make disciples," that means we have to go out and make disciple really, not just verbally, but go out and make a disciple. So that's why we are doing every Friday night. We invite a non-believer to our houses so that they can join the meal, and after that, we can hear their life, and that way we can connect, and they can come to our church and join as a member. So it was, a great time, and I think I'm enjoying my ministry. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Pastor. Thank you, Pastor. So I want to ask you just a little bit about. You just mentioned that you are inviting people to your house. How many members do you have right now joining
Uh,
your church?
it's not big. It's like 25 people.
25. Well, Jesus said, wherever one and two will gather in my name, I will be in the midst of them. So 25 is more than one and two, Pastor.
Yes.
And are they all mostly Korean?
Korean and American and what is that? Vietnamese.
Oh, so it's a mixed congregation.
There, yes.
Okay, so I want to, Pastor, since we met in South Korea, so I want to just talk a little bit about South Korea. How long did you serve in South Korea, Pastor, as a pastor?
Yeah, 4 years.
4 years?
Hmm.
And can you share a little bit experience about serving in South Korea, especially at Wangsung Church?
Yes. So when I just graduated my seminary in America, they invite me as an English pastor. So I accept their offer, and I started the English service there. At that time, we didn't have any members here, and I think Cecil, Pastor Cecil, you are the like first generation. I think I remember. At that time, we have Chinese, Mongolian, not Vietnamese, Filipinos, and Pakistani and Bangladeshi, and maybe couple Caucasians.
Hmm.
Yeah, something like that. And at that time, I want to share the love of Christ to those people around Korea, Seoul area, because at that time many people they are having trouble with owners. So I help them so that they could get money, or if they have a problem with medical, I brought them to the hospital and the dentist and many places so that they could do complete, comfortable living in Seoul. So that at that time, I think many people come to our church and they baptize and they go back to their country. I think that was really, memorable. And at that time, I thought I didn't do very well in my ministry because I couldn't see any fruit. But after 20 years later, they call me. Sometimes they, chat through the media. Pastor, do you remember me? My name is Max. I became pastor. So when I hear that testimony, I was so joyful. So it was great memory in Hwangsong Church. And after that, as I know, I think through that ministry, four full-time pastors ministering right now. It was really great and help, and it was really, really great for me. Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that, Pastor, because I was there, as you said, and maybe I was one of the first when you started your English ministry, because that time I was in Korea. So I would like to share a little bit about my experience with you. First of all, you did, Pastor, you did an awesome job. I can tell you that. And you just mentioned about helping foreigners, especially including myself. I remember that at that time, I didn't have a job, I didn't have any money, and your church in particular, you helped me with Mr. Isejo, one of your
Yeah,
elders, right,
I
deacon?
remember you.
Yes, and you helped me to get a place, a room, and the church was paying for it, Pastor. I remember that because I didn't had any money, and Mr. Isejo, and you said, "All right, Victor, don't worry, we'll get you a room." And
Mm,
Wangsun Church English ministry, your ministry was paying for it. I
mm,
remember that. And also you mentioned about like many foreigners, especially Pakistanis and Bangladeshis and Filipinos and so on, when they had problem, when they were not getting paid by their employees, you used to call the employees and you made sure that they get paid, because if they don't get paid, they cannot send money back home, and that was really really very grateful. And also, as you said, I remember you used to bring doctors and nurses once in a while to have medical checkup and so on. I remember all of that. And here I would like to share with you, Pastor, one verse which is from the Bible, which is from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 25, and I'm just going to read first two verses, 35 and 36. It says, "For I was hungry and you gave me to eat, I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink, I was a stranger and you invited me in, I needed clothes and you clothed me, I was sick and you looked after me." That's what you did, Pastor, when I was in Korea, because I know exactly I was there. So I'm so grateful for you and for your wife and for the ministry you did. And you said 25 years later, here we are today. I never thought that I'm going to be doing a podcast with you like this, but here we are. And I don't know, I cannot tell you how happy I am, how excited about I am that I am sitting with you and I'm talking to you, Pastor.
Me too. Cecil, Pastor Cecil, Victor, I'm so grateful that we could talk on the media studio. It's so great privilege with you.
And I want to ask you one request, Pastor, personal request. Hopefully, sometime in the near future, I want to travel with you back to South Korea, back to Wongsung Church.
Oh, great!
We go together.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so before I go on to my next question, I just want to share a little bit my experience for when I went to South Korea for the first time. Because when I came there, I think it was 1999. I don't remember exactly, maybe around that time. And when I was coming, because I never been to South Korea, Pastor, and as I was coming, and it was closer to Christmas time, and I think the flight was coming there in the evening. And as the flight was landing, and I was sitting right next to the window, Pastor, and because it was night, almost nighttime, and I saw so many crosses, when the plane was landing. So my first impression was, Pastor, I thought, wow, because it is Christmas, and maybe people have put up crosses on top of their houses. But when the plane landed, and when I went inside the city, and what I saw, that those were not houses, those were churches. Almost every corner, every street, everywhere in Korea, there are churches all across South Korea. That was so impressive to me, Pastor. I was so touched by it, that a country, South Korea, which is not a Christian country, but there are so many churches in South Korea, Pastor. Can you tell us a little bit about that, Pastor, please?
Yes. I think when the Korea was occupied by Japanese, and after 36 years later, we free from the occupied. And then after that, we had a big war. North Korea and South Korea, we had a big war. And then after that, we were like a beggar. No food, no houses. It was poor country. But by the grace of God, many American or other country helped us, especially missionary came to Korea and they built a, like school and hospital and those things. So they really helped us and they built church. They started church and through that ministry, we could become a Christian, and we build the church every corner of our village. Still now, even now, we have so many, church in Korea. I think that's blessing. I really thank God for that.
Yes, thank you, Pastor. And as you just said, that Korea was, if you look at the Korean history, because I've studied the Korean history a little bit, is that Korea was a very poor country, but after the war with North Korea,
Mhm.
they started developing, and many missionaries they went to South Korea, and Koreans they came to know Jesus and they accepted Jesus, and there were so many churches built all across South Korea, and Korea was blessed because of the great by the grace of God. I think I can say that. So that leads me to our first question today, Pastor, which I want to ask you is what do you think about, like, especially many churches and especially many pastors and elders all across the world, but especially South Korea, because South Korea in the last 10 or 20 years, you have some mega churches, and one of them is Yoido Full Gospel, which is by Pastor David Yongye Cho. But recently, in the last, I would say, 5 to 6 years in particular, many churches all across the world, even here in the US, but especially South Korea, they are facing many challenges and difficulties and obstacles. What do you think? What is the reason and what is the problem, Pastor, in your opinion?
I think the first problem is money. Money.
Hmm.
So, you know, when we were poor, we need, that we desperately need God. But, when we are wealthy enough, uh, people think we don't need God. We have a lot of money, so we can change the, from God to money. I think money is idol, really idol. So many young people, they, apart from God, because they following money and not following God. I think that's the most important problem. So we need to change the world, not through money, but through God. Uh, I think we. That's why we need to pray so that they may come back to the Lord. I think so.
Okay. Yeah, I think you mentioned a very good point. I think money, because we can see even in the Old Testament that when people started worshiping idol, you mentioned idol, Pastor, and idol can be anything. It can be an obstacle, uh, object. It can be uh, stone. It can be a god. It could be money. So when people started worshiping those kind of idols, they separated from God, and I think that is what is going on all across the world. But especially one thing, Pastor, why do you think especially youths, young people, they don't want to come to church anymore, especially in USA?
Not only USA but also Korea.
Uh-huh.
Because the same thing. Like I said, after they graduate college, they could earn, like a 6 digit.
Hmm.
So, they don't need anything. So they want to enjoy their life. Uh, they could go to church, but they just attend the church, not become a real Christian. I think that's the real problem in our churches. So I think we need one-to-one discipleship because otherwise, they cannot change. That's why. I want to do one-to-one ministry. We don't need many people. We need just few good people. We need a few good, godly mental health, mental people. That's why I want to focus on those ministry.
Yes. So, can you tell us how you're doing that? How you're trying to focus on having individuals who are not only faithful, but they love God, they obey God, and they practically practice Christianity. How you're doing that, Pastor? Can you tell us a little bit?
Yes. I think 1 years ago, seven young people came to Melbourne, Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And they come to my church and they say, Pastor, we want to evangelize. We want to, preach the gospel. Uh, just to, they want to sleep in our house, and they just want to go out and preach the gospel. So I said, okay. So every morning, I rent a van, and then we go to the George Mason University, and they do ministry. I mean the evangelism, 9 a.m. to almost 5 o'clock, 9 to 5. It's like full time job, and they say it's like heaven. We are so happy to be here because we could share the love of Christ. So at that time, when I see their face, uh, they really look happy. So after that, I thought about it. Who made them like that? So I want to, the learn from them. So I went to Melbourne with my wife. 20 hours flew, and I spent there like 1 week, and I learned, from pastor. So he says he has a pity heart for lost people. So he started it within 4 people, uh, wife, 2 kids. In 20 years ago, they did the same thing. They go to campus and they, share the love of Christ. And, people come to their church and they changed their life. So after that, after they came to our church, I am doing their ministry. So I go to George Mason University every Wednesday, all by myself. I bring some food, Korean food. It's like cup ramen, kimbap, the sushi, those things, and I bring there, and then I share the love of Christ, and I'm doing that ministry right now.
Wow, that's wonderful, Pastor. And I would like to share with our audience one verse again from the Gospel, again from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 24, where Jesus said, "No one can serve two masters. Either you will hate one and love the other, or you will be devoted to one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money." So that is what you are talking about, Pastor. We are not trying to say here that money is not important. Money is important for us, but number one is God, right, Pastor?
Amen.
And I believe that if you have Jesus in your life, and if you put Jesus number one in your life, everything else will follow you.
Amen.
Amen. So thank you for so much for this, our first podcast. So we will take a short break now, and then we will come back again.
Thank you.